Hi there, my name is Leah. I'm from the Randolph Garden Center. Today I'm going to talk to you about starting seeds indoors. Here we have all of our seed starting supplies that we carry here at Jung's. There are more, but this is the majority of them. We have everything from heat mats to grow lights to the plastic domes and all of the trays that you would need, seed starting mix, the Jiffy pots, which are biodegradable, those are great, and these little greenhouse kits that all you really need to do with this is add your seeds and your soil. Everything is, your little greenhouse is already set here in this nano dome. We have heat mats for a single tray, 2 trays, and 4 trays, and we have a couple different dome sizes for you, and a couple different liners here for starting your seeds as well. Jung's has been in business since 1907. Seeds are a specialty. You want to buy seeds at a reputable seed company. There are many out there, but you'll have greater success with a good company, good quality company, rather than a dollar store packet of seeds. That being said, let's start in the process of getting your seeds going. So you want to have a good seed starting mix. The Jung Family Garden seed starting mix is a good mix to have. It provides aeration and drainage for your seeds. You don't want to use garden soil because there's the possibility of weed seeds and disease spores being in that soil. Also, it's really heavy too. The seeds need to be able to breathe in the soil, and that will ensure good germination. So when you plant your seeds, you fill your trays with your soil, and the good rule of thumb is no deeper than what the seed packet recommends. These peppers, it says a depth of 1/16 to 1/4 of an inch. So no deeper than that. Now pumpkin seeds and bean seeds, they're a lot larger. Those you typically don't start indoors, but because they are a larger seed, they would need to be planted at a deeper depth. And then, so once you put your seeds in, then you want to water them in. I would recommend just a little spray bottle, because the seeds, you don't want to drown them. You don't want to push them too far into their soil. You could use a spray bottle. You could use a little watering can. When I do this at home, I just take it over to the kitchen sink and I use the sprayer on my kitchen faucet. Just real lightly, because again, I don't want to wash the seeds out. So once your seeds are done, you're planted, you got all your seeds done in your tray, you want to put them in a warm location. Sometimes people will use heat mats and a dome cover. So these should fit on quite nicely. And because it's not full, it's very wobbly. So then you want to put them on a heat mat. Not everything requires a heat source, but keep it warm. Once the seedlings germinate, then you want to take the dome cover off, which is usually when they're about like a week or 2 into their germination. You can take the cover off. Some things, such as like lettuce and tomatoes, they will do better when it's a little bit cooler. Tomatoes, if they're too warm, they will become long and leggy, and you'll have a spindly plant to put out in your garden, and they won't be very pretty. Lettuce likes to be cooler, so you can keep that cool. Peppers like to be warmer, so you can keep that heat source on there a little bit longer. So you could take away the heat if you need to, put them in a sunny location. Some things will grow towards the light. Just keep rotating your trays around. Make sure the soil stays fairly moist. You don't want them to dry out too much, and you don't want them to be too wet, otherwise your little seedlings will rot. And then you'll be starting all over, or you'll be out of time to start over. All right, so after your seedlings emerge, this has been a couple of weeks. These trays here, we had, they were started in our greenhouse, so that was more under optimal conditions with heat and humidity and light. At home, you'll have to supplement possibly with some grow lights. If you have a nice sunny room, they will do just fine there. So I want to show you about thinning out. Sometimes if we have multiple seeds in our cells, you can thin them out. Some people don't want to putz around with this, and they would just snip one of these off right at the base, or you can pull them out. Some people want to utilize every seed that germinates. So I like to use a paring knife, and I just gently lift the whole plug out. Just break off some of the soil, and just gently pull your seeds apart. These are tomatoes. Tomatoes are fairly easy and forgiving. And then I just dig the soil out of this missing cell. The soil is fairly wet, so it takes a little while. And then I just gently tuck the seedling back into the cell. And then the other one that was the other half of it, do the same thing as well. Just gently tuck it in, put the soil around it. If you have to add a little bit more soil to it, you can. And then be sure to water it in right away so they don't dry out, and they will recover, and you'll have extra plants. You don't always have to do that, but if you want to, it's good. I just want to show, most of these are part of our flagship seeds. Green beans here. One reason why we don't do green beans, we usually don't do green beans ahead of time, it's because they end up like this, and then it's a little bit more stressful on the plant, and because they grow so fast and they can germinate real quickly without any ahead time. We have some kohlrabis and some tomatoes and some peppers, little bitty peppers in here. They're going to take a little bit longer. All of these were started January 28th, so you can see the difference in the little peppers to the green beans. And most certainly the lettuce and the kohlrabis here, they could be planted out earlier than the peppers and the tomatoes here. So once you have this done, you want to make sure they have plenty of time to root in before transplanting out to your garden. So this would have to go probably another 3 to 4 weeks before we would want to try to do that. And obviously here, this is February, we aren't going to be planting out in March. But then you want to start fertilizing too. Give them a little bit of a head start in their growing. Give them some nice good, just an all-purpose fertilizer. Miracle Grow is a good one. We have Jax, which is an all-purpose fertilizer. Those are good too. You can start that, and then once you transplant them out, then you can add that to your weekly, bi-weekly, depending on your fertilizer and your garden soil. And then when you're ready to go, ready to transplant out to your garden, all you have to do is take these out and put them, they're good to go, ready to go in your garden. Plop them in and watch them grow.